In a new report titled Patrol and Persuade, Safeguard Defenders, a Spain-based human rights organization, found dozens of additional overseas Chinese police service centers around the world, including at least 2 right here in Canada. Senator Gold, your government has told us that it is taking the matter seriously and investigating. Why then are we having to find out what is happening in our own country from an organization operating overseas? Had the government identified these additional stations prior to this report? And if so, why was it not shared with the public? And most importantly, why are these illegal police stations still operating on Canadian soil?
Senator Gold.
Well, thank you for your question, Senator. As I believe that I've mentioned in this chamber before, the RCMP has in fact confirmed that they've launched an investigation into these allegations of Chinese so-called police stations. And I'm further advised that Global Affairs Canada has indeed made representations to Chinese ambassador to Canada regarding these allegations. I want to emphasize, colleagues, as we would all know, that it's the Chinese community in Canada who are often targeted by such interference. We're going to work with the community to combat it and to protect them and protect Canadians. The government is using all of its tools and employs and will employ new ones if necessary to combat all foreign interference in our country. As commented by an official at Global Affairs Canada, and recently reiterated in this chamber, and I quote, "The activity that's being alleged, that is the police stations, colleagues, would be entirely illegal, totally inappropriate, and would be the subject of very serious representation."
Senator Platt.
Senator Gold, the report in question also claims that the vast majority of the newly documented stations found around the world were set up starting back in 2016. Does the government have any knowledge of how early these stations began operations in Canada? Or was this under the government's radar for 6 years? And again, why are they still operating in Canada?
Well, Senator, I cannot answer that question for several reasons, but not the least of which is that whatever Canada would have, when and what Canada became aware of, would have been aware of through its security services, and those matters, all senators will properly understand, cannot be the subject of public disclosure.
Senator McFedrin, we have